Natumi Takes the Lead: The True Story of an Orphan Elephant Who Finds Family. Written by Gerry, Ellis, and Amy Novesky. This is the true story of Natumi, a little orphan elephant. She was shy and often afraid. No one ever thought Natumi would grow up to be a leader. One spring morning on the African savannah, a little elephant only a few weeks old followed her herd to a watering hole for a drink. Like most elephant families, hers was very close. She never wandered more than a trunk's length away. The days were growing warmer, and the little elephant nestled in the shades beneath her mother. Suddenly shots rang out, and a high-pitched trumpet shook the air. Elephants stampeded and scattered. Some fell, all except one. Alone and without a mother, the little elephant ran until she was rescued by a kind farmer and taken to an elephant orphanage. The little elephant was hungry but otherwise unharmed. As the weeks passed, other orphans arrived with wounds, sunburned skin and scratches, snake bites and bruises, and all the elephants seemed to have broken hearts, which were the most difficult wounds to heal. The keepers at the orphanage named the little elephant Natumi. She was a shy girl and often hid behind her keeper's leg. And she was not alone. There were 7 other orphans, each given a name: Adi, Ishota, Ilingwezi, Lakipia, Lolokwe, Inyeo, and Salama. Soon these 8 little Elis would form a new family. Before long, life at the orphanage settled into a comforting routine. Every morning the elephants and their keepers woke in the stables. The little Elis drank bottles of milk and ate copra cake, a tasty treat made from coconut meal. Mornings in the highlands were deliciously cool. Doves cooed, distant lions roared, and curious elephants headed into the bush to explore and play. When the East African sun was high and hot, Natumi and the other elephants bathed in mud puddles, slipping and splashing in the squishy ochre earth. Then, nice and cool, they napped in the shade of the blooming acacia trees. The only sounds in the air, hum of insects and the gentle slaps of wet elephant ears. At the end of the day, when the sky glowed purple and the heat receded, the elephants chased each other back to the stables for the night. Evenings were alive with the chatter of birds and the scent of ipomea blossoms, wood smoke, and red dirt. Sometimes the rambunctious elephants didn't want to go to bed, but their keepers helped settle them down, covering them with handmade blankets. Lala Salama, good night, Idi, Icholta, Ilingwesa, Lakapia, Lolokwe, Anyiro, Salama, Lala Salama Natumi. The days passed and the little elephants grew bigger and stronger. Now not so little, Natumi tossed her keeper into the air when she tried to hide behind his legs, and she was tall enough to grab his hat. Natumi and the other orphans had become a family, and their family needed a leader, just like in the wild. Someone to protect them and keep them safe. Who would it be? Some keepers thought it would be brave Edie. Others guessed it would be playful Ilingwesi. No one really thought about Natumi. The keepers saw her as the shy one. One morning, Natumi and her family headed out into the hills, trunk to tail, trunk to tail. Despite their closeness, it was easy to get lost in the thick brush. Suddenly, a high-pitched trumpet shook the air. Elephants stampeded and scattered. Some fell, but soon all the little elephants raced back to the clearing, where their blankets and milk bottles hung, all except one. The keepers counted the elephants: Idi, Icholta, Ilingwesi, Lakapia, Lolokwe, Anyiro, Salama, 7 elephants. Where was Natumi? All of a sudden, Natumi crashed through the bushes, her ears flared wide and defiant, her trunk arched above her head. She trumpeted noisily. Shh, Natumi, way, it's okay. A keeper tried to reassure her. The other elephants gently touched Natumi, entwining their trunks together, rumbling gently, comforting her. But something had changed. Natumi seemed bigger, bolder, and in fact, she was now taller than the rest. That evening, Natumi led her family from the clearing back home, and the next day and the next, Natumi led her family into the hills to play. She led them to the mud puddles to bathe, and she led them back home again. One day, while the elephants were napping, Natumi trumpeted loudly, saving the Ellis from a snake she'd spotted above them. Soon everyone knew Natumi had taken the lead. Years passed, and the Ellis were not so little anymore. They no longer drank milk from bottles, and they were growing new teeth and tusks. The time had come for Natumi's family to leave the orphanage together for a new, wilder place, a protected park they could call home. In the cool twilight, Natumi let the other 7 Ellis board the truck first. As she waited, her keeper gently blew into her trunk to calm her. When all were settled and safe, Natumi climbed aboard. And when the 8 not-so-little elephants arrived at their new home, Natumi proudly led her family off of the truck and back into the wild.